Hey everyone, Draco Magnius here for another episode of Let's Play 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors. In the last episode, we looked around for the bottoms to these doors here in this hospital room because we couldn't find them. In this episode, we're going to see what the others found on their individual searches. Hopefully it's some good news, otherwise we have no idea what we're going to do from here. Unless we can communicate with Zero in some way, but none of us have a walkie-talkie, so I'm guessing that option is pretty much Zipola. He jogged, yes, I have to reread this. He jogged through the entrance of the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there. Ace, Santa, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. They had gathered in front of door number 8. Or perhaps to be accurate, they had gathered in front of the red next to door number 8. Had one of them found the missing piece? What happened, guys? It was June who answered him. Jumpy, look! She was pointing at the red. He pushed through the others until he stood in front of it. What? Immediately, he knew what she had meant. The display on the front of the red read, vacant. Junpei sighed. Come on, guys, who was it? I thought we were supposed to yell if we found it. Well, Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. None of them found it, did they? The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut. What the hell? What's up with you guys? They all knew something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke. Well, that's the thing. We don't know. You don't know? When I got back, it was already like this. There was no one else here. That means I was the first one back, but the missing parts were already back in the red. Junpei looked at the bottom of the red again, just to make sure. The slot that had been opened on the bottom was now covered with metal. Clearly, whatever had been missing had been returned. What about the other two? They're the same. Junpei quickly examined the other 2 boxes. Satisfied they were also repaired, but still very confused, he returned to the others. So did Zero come down here to put them in? And if that's the case, why wouldn't he have done that in the first place? It seems detrimental to his game to just leave those out and put them back in. Something's up. None of this adds up. Alright, I just want to be sure here. Nobody has any idea what the hell happened here, right? Ace and June nodded silently. Seven raised his hand as if to say, not me. And Santa just shrugged. Only Clover lowered her head and did nothing. Is there something you'd like to share with the rest of the class, Clover? Huh? Wait a minute. That was when he noticed. Snake Eyes isn't here, is he? Where's Snake? Junpei swept his eyes across the room a second time, but Snake was nowhere to be seen. Does that mean he found them? I've no idea. There's nothing to suggest it, but nothing to suggest he didn't either. And there's nothing to suggest he moved on his own either, because that would be impossible. He would have to have 3 people, or 2 other people, to go in with him. I don't suppose we'll know until we can ask him in person. Well, whatever he did or didn't do, he's pretty damn late. What the hell is he up to? Maybe he's lost. Yeah, well, that seems likely. Dude can't see. I don't know how he gets around in the first place. Clover raised her head. No, that's impossible! Suddenly she was shouting. Yeah, my brother's blind, but he's got really good great hearing. He can't get around as well as anyone who can see. So he couldn't get lost. That's impossible! Clover had started to shake, and the knuckles of her hands had gone white. She spun around, but before she noticed, Junpei noticed tears welling up in her eyes. I'm gonna go look for him. The words were barely out of her mouth when she began to run. Hey! Hold on, Clover, wait! Junpei cried out to her, but he was too slow. You're too slow. Sorry, had to. She kept going, and before anyone else could react, she was gone. Damn it. What should we do now? Well, the red is working now. No, we're not leaving 2 people behind. We should go look for them. Aw, man, this ain't good. Oh yes, what an excellent idea. We just wasted a bunch of time looking for some piece of electronic junk. Now let's waste some more by looking for a couple of idiots. Then remain here if you feel you must, but there's no time. We've only 5 hours left. Junpei and the others nodded to one another and took off at a run. I don't know, man. It feels bad about leaving them. In front of the stairs that led to the B deck, they decided to split up. They quickly assigned search areas and went their separate ways. Soon, only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others. Alright, we should go too. Yes, let's go. But where should we start? Let's see. The casino and the B deck, the first-class cabin, the hallway with all the rooms, back to the large hospital room. Well, he's probably not in the casino, because we were looking through all the doors. So logically speaking, he should be somewhere in the hallway with all the rooms. That would be the first area to look. I suppose there's the chance he could be in the first-class cabin or the casino. But he's definitely not in the large hospital room. We can rule that out now, because he would just be there. We should go check out that hallway with all the rooms. Okay, let's go, Jumpy. They turned and ran down the hallway to their left. Ahead of them, farther down the hallway, they spotted Ace. Hey! Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there! Junpei paused. What did he want to do? Run to Ace, or let him handle it? Let's run to Ace. Because one man in this room with all of these hallways is going to take a really long time to find him. With June in tow, Junpei jogged up to Ace. Hearing their footsteps, he turned to greet them. Ah, hello there. Snake is, well, that's obvious, isn't it? I assume you haven't found him yet either. Junpei nodded. I really wonder where he could have gone. Well, wherever he's disappeared to, we must find him as quickly as we can, for Clover's sake. Right. June's face looked kind of enraptured. By the way, do you think Clover and Snake are really siblings? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? The question seems somehow odd to Junpei. Why? Well, it's obvious, isn't it? They don't look alike at all. Ace looked at him for a moment, then spoke. They could be, one could be adopted. Yes, now that you mention it, they don't. Now that you mention it? Still, there are a great many siblings who do not look like one another. It certainly isn't rare. Junpei wasn't sure why, or even if he was seeing what he thought he was, but he could have sworn that Ace's face tightened as he spoke. At any rate, we must find Snake as soon as possible. The clock is ticking. We really can't afford to waste any time. Very well, let's get back to the search, shall we? You can leave this area to me. Alright. Let's go, Jumpy. At June's urging, they left. Okay, so that's one area down where he's definitely not. They found themselves back at the stairs, but Junpei's mind was in turmoil. There was so much to think about, but... No, it would have to be put aside for now. As Ace said, finding Snake was their top priority. Junpei did his best to clear his mind. Alright, where should they go next? Well, we haven't been to the casino. I never even remember seeing mention of it, so let's go to the casino, I guess. Let's take a look around the casino. Okay, let's go. They turned and headed toward B deck. Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails. Hey, what do you think you're doing? She glanced up at him, unimpressed. Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake. Where in your nails? I'm just not seeing it. Really? Maybe you need to look harder. Junpei didn't think that was the problem. Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it? Why not? What is it? Well, I don't like to beat about around the bush, so I'll get right to it. Why don't we team up? 5, 6, and she's 8. Well, that really wouldn't get us through the door alone if that's what you're proposing. Just Junpei, June, and Lotus. Team up? Yeah. What, you need me to explain it to you? I'm saying, why don't we go through a numbered door? Even if we wanted to, that's impossible. Why? Jumpy's bracelet number is 5, and mine is 6, and yours is 8. Our digital root would be 1. 5 plus 6 plus 8 is 9. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. But there's no number 1 door in the large hospital room. The only doors there are 3, 7, and 8. Then we add another person. Huh? Who? What, isn't that easy? 7. She was right. If they added 7, 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 7 is 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. Then the 4 of them could go through the number 8 door. But... well, hold on a sec. What about the other 4? Why don't you add them up? That was simple enough. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 equals 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. The digital root for those 4 would be 1. That's right. And you know, the number 1 door isn't in the big hospital room, right? Of course I know that. No, are you saying you leave them behind? That's really dumb. Like, really, really dumb. Let's do the math again. Like they said, all of them together equal 8. If they don't make it through, it's just the 8 of us. Well, it's just the 4 of us with the number 8 unable to get through door number 9. I don't have to do the math. Of course not. What kind of woman do you think I am? Once we get off the ship, we could come back and rescue them, could we? Couldn't we? Then we wouldn't really be leaving them behind. Don't try to lie to us. I don't think you do anything of the sort. Really? Why do you think that? You remember, don't you? We have less than 5 hours left. Even if we manage to escape, there's no way we could come back to rescue them in less than 5 hours. Well, you never know until you try. No. You're not thinking this through. Even if we brought 7 with us, we wouldn't be able to get off the ship. The 4 of us couldn't open door number 9.
It is hidden. An exit can be found. Seek the out. Seek a door that carries a 9.
Yeah, that's right. The digital root for us 4 would be 8, so we'd have to add ace to make 9. Right. Unless we bring ace 2, we'll be stuck. Lotus scratched the back of her ear. Oh, Yeah, I thought you were so smart before, but you can't even do simple arithmetic? Well, that's unfortunate. She didn't sound particularly bothered by what Junpei said, nor did she seem particularly surprised. Well, let's try to find another way, okay? A way to get out of here with all 8 of us. That's impossible. Are you being serious? You do know that only 5 people at most can go through one of the numbered doors, right? Oh, that's right. That's another rule. I didn't think that door number 9 would apply to that rule because that's the escape one, which means that only 5 people total can get out, meaning for us to get out, we need Ace. Correct? Crap. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Okay, that would leave 2, 3, 4. I think. And yeah, they could get out too. So if we break the teams up like that, we have a chance of everyone getting out. And that door shouldn't have any problems because your bracelet just pops up when you go through. It shouldn't have a vacant or occupied. The number 9 isn't going to be an exception to that rule. Regardless, at least 3 people will get left behind. Yeah, and they can get through too once we finish. You're right, that is true. The moment he said it, Junpei felt a chill run down his spine. It was true. How Lotus could remain so cavalier about so terrifying a prospect was beyond him. When they found the number 9, they would have to choose which 3 of them would die. Lotus's forehead furrowed. Do you think I could have a moment alone? There's some things I need to think about. Well, she brought this deal to us. It could be just because we came to her first, but that it might also be the fact that she actually has some sort of feeling of either respect or cares for us, because Junpei and June are so young. She might just do arithmetic in her head and see who else might be more willing to ditch the others, too, and see if that would add up a digital route. Junpei and June turned and began walking away from Lotus. Talking to her had left them feeling ill. Junpei's heart felt heavy and his steps sluggish. But he soon told himself pessimism would get them nowhere. So he forced himself to smile and turn to June. Let's just focus on finding Snake for now, okay? Yes, you're right. We can think about those other things later. Junpei nodded. Alright, where should we go next? Well, that just leaves the first-class cabin and the hospital room. So he's either in the first-class cabin or he's back in the first room. Let's go take a look at the first-class cabin. It's really close. They turned around and took off down the hallway to their left. Outside the first-class cabin, they found Clover. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point on the wall, her eyes blank. What should Junpei do? Let's talk to her. Are you alright? He did his best to sound friendly, but Clover didn't respond. I know you're really worried, but, He could think of no words to say that didn't sound hollow and fake. Junpei hesitated. Clover was so consumed by worry and fear that Junpei feared it would crush her. Her actions didn't surprise him. She had suddenly lost her brother, who she seemed to have been very close to. Alone. Her voice was thin and barely audible. Alone. Alone. I said leave me alone! Suddenly she was screaming. You're so annoying! Just go away and leave me alone! Just looking at you guys is pissing me off! Go away, okay? Just go somewhere else! Stop bothering me! Junpei was taken aback. Such anger and hate. June's eyes had gone wide with surprise as well. Why are you still here? Did you hear me? Fine, forget it. If you aren't gonna leave, then I'll just... Alright. Let's go, June. Yeah. They turned and left Clover. As they did, Junpei glanced over his shoulder to see Clover wiping tears from her face. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed. For Clover's sake, they had to find Snake, and fast. He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile. So where do you think we should go next? Well, there's only one other place to go, and it's the area where we were first. Let's head back to the large hospital room. All right. That's probably the best idea. Together they ran down the stairs. Well, that was a colossal waste of time. On their way to the large hospital room, Junpei noticed Santa standing next to door number 3. Junpei paused. What should Junpei do? Junpei and June walked up to Santa. What are you doing? What, you can't tell? I'm checking out the red. Why, is there something bothering you? What? It's not bothering you? Huh? The guts of this red. Why wouldn't you wonder who the hell put it back here? Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm certainly curious too, but who do you think did it? Santa's eyes narrowed as he looked at June. I'm curious about something. Nope, just leads to 5. She shook her head. I don't know. Well, what about you, Junpei? Who do you think fixed the thing for us? Someone other than the 8 of them. Yes, some random schmuck is on this ship with us. Working for Zero. I guess Zero. I think it was probably Zero. Why? Isn't that obvious? He's the guy who set this whole thing up. You don't think that should mean the opposite? Seems to me like that means he didn't do it. I mean, who do you think took that stuff out in the first place? Probably Zero. Yeah, exactly. Then why the hell would he put them back in after he'd taken them out himself? Just doesn't make sense. Unless he wanted us to waste time. Why do all that work? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So what happened then? Who put that stuff back in the reds? Junpei furrowed his brow. So in other words, one of us is the person who fixed the red. Santa grinned. Bingo! And my phone is going off. I will be right back. Okay, we're back. Santa grinned. Bingo. We have a winner. But if that's true, then the person who did it doesn't want the rest of us to know? They fixed the red? Yeah. But why? No idea. Maybe if they come clean on that, it means we'd find out something else. Something bad. Something bad? Dunno. But whatever it is, it's gotta be worth hiding. Of course, it could have something to do with Snake's disappearance. You think maybe they did something to Snake? It's not out of the question. Junpei stared at Santa. There was something about him that made Junpei wary. At first he'd assumed the other man wasn't terribly clever, but Junpei was beginning to think he would need to reevaluate that assessment. When Santa spoke again, his voice was quiet. Look, if you don't trust anybody in this game, you're gonna lose. You gotta be careful. The person you trust the most could turn out to be the one who stabs you in the back. With that depressing suggestion, he turned and quietly walked away. Junpei and June looked at one another and smiled awkwardly. I looked everywhere. Finish searching. Okay, let me think about this for a second. If anyone is a traitor in this group, I would assume it's Lotus, because she doesn't seem to care about anyone else. Though Snake also has a bit of a point of suspicion running around now, because he's missing entirely. Either he's dead or he's hiding for some reason. Clover seems a bit antisocial, so she has a chance. We know our main character isn't the betrayer, because we would be privy to that knowledge if we were the betrayer. And Junpei wouldn't be so surprised about certain things that are being said. I suppose it could be June just for total mindfuck, but I don't think that's the case. Seven doesn't remember anything, so he also has a possibility. Well, I guess we'll finish searching. They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be found. We couldn't just disappear off the ship. Lotus looked around at 6 frustrated faces and spoke. We can't keep looking for Snake. Wherever he is, it's not here. We need to get moving. Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. There was no point to waste any more time. The others seemed to have similar thoughts, but they stayed silent. Finally, 7 spoke. We don't got a choice. Lotus is right. And then the screen goes black. I guess that's the game telling me I should end this episode here. I'll see you guys in the next episode, where I guess we're moving on and leaving Snake behind because there's nowhere else we could look for him. Still gotta wonder where the hell he went. See you guys in the next episode.